gone viral. Dwight Howard has been an essential part of the Lakers' success this season. And when Superman was asked for his all-time Lakers starting five, Dwight wasn't afraid to insert himself into the conversation. Take a listen.
Ooh, that's tough. I have Magic at the 1, Kobe at the 2, LeBron at the 3. Ooh, this is tough for the 4 and 5. All right, so I'm gonna put Kareem at the 4, and I'm gonna put Shaq at the 5, and I'll be the 6th man.
I like that. No one's beating that 5.
Nobody's beating that 6, you know.
That's 6. There you go.
We're going to get a ball to Shaq, let him go to work, get everybody in foul trouble. Then Kareem is going to skyhook everybody to death. Then Magic's going to push the break. Then Shaq will be a little bit tired from, you know, scoring all those points and dunking on everybody. So we'll get him the sub. I'll be the 6th man.
There you go.
And now I'm coming in the game and I'm doing pick and rolls with Magic and LeBron. And then in the 4th quarter, we get a ball to Kobe and let him close the game.
That's awesome. And Dwight's Kareem's 3rd, Shaq's 12th,
This is
and Dwight.
Also, LeBron. Best.
What?
LeBron's the best. Never mind.
Yeah, LeBron's the best player in league history. Kareem's 3rd.
All right.
Most underrated player.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Jerry West, maybe.
Jerry West, yeah,
Maybe.
no doubt about it. But you were taking issue with me calling LeBron the greatest player ever?
I ain't gonna have that. I'm not gonna have this argument, man.
Yeah, because it ain't an argument.
It's Michael Jordan, but I ain't gonna go.
Just picks the wrong players to do it. And by the way, Kobe fans out there are always on my head. I did just call him the 8th greatest player ever. Now he's the 2nd best version of what he wanted to be, but he's the 8th greatest player ever. There's no shame in that.
That's a little low to me.
Well, I mean, he wanted to be Jordan. He's the 2nd best version of that.
So disrespectful.
Righty then. On to Sunday night. Of questions surrounding them. Here's Dak ahead of Sunday's pivotal game.
We control our destiny, so every game is the biggest game to me. As I said, this is a good team. This is a good team, good defense, and if we dare to try to look past them, then we're making a mistake. So we've got to focus on this, focus on how talented they are, but know that we've got the tools. We've got to go out there and execute our game plan, and we'll be fine.
Bart, these really are two very similar teams from top to bottom. Who's got the edge on Sunday?
This is tough because when you look at them, it's like looking in the mirror. And, you know, if you go position by position, the only advantage I would maybe give, well, I would give Dallas the offensive line advantage. Safeties definitely, you know, linebackers are similar. They both got elite linebackers. Coaching, I think it goes to Minnesota. But Kirk Cousins has been balling right now, man. And ever since Thielen, you know, he went and apologized to Thielen on his podcast.
And James demanded the trade ever since then.
He's been 13 touchdowns, 1 interception. Dalvin Cook is the candidate or the leader to me, or the lock for comeback player of the year. He does so much to put this team on schedule. I just think right now Dallas really hasn't been tested. I'm concerned with it away. Let's see what quarterback could win off schedule. I'm still stuck in the middle. I can't decide. This is going to be a pick'em game any way you want it.
No, I mean, it's both of these teams are looking in the mirror right now. Yeah. And to your point, I think it's critical for the Cowboys to get out to a fast start because this team was built to play with the lead. They were both built with the same thing in mind. We're going to be strong in the trenches on both sides of the ball, but we're going to be led by our running game. I mean, didn't Kirk Cousins have, what, fewer than 10 pass attempts in the first game?
Well, they playing Atlanta and Dalvin Cook.
No, I understand that, but think about that. That's the first game of the season, and that's how Mike Zimmer called the game. He and Kevin Stefanski said, we don't want our quarterback, who we're paying $28 million, to throw the ball more than 10 times. That gives you an idea of what they want this team to be and what their overall football philosophy is going to tilt toward. So it's all about the running game for both teams. Whoever gets out to the faster start is going to have a decided advantage in this matchup. And to me, I trust the way that the Minnesota Vikings have been playing up until this.
A guy like Kirk Cousins or a guy like Dak Prescott, also very similar, but in two various parts of their career right now.
Well, I heard some of y'all discussions earlier about them both being game managers, the fact that Kirk Cousins is a finished product, their head-to-head matchup. I think it was a little deceiving when you talk about the head-to-head matchup, because one was with a good organization, one was with a bad one.
Because they played a bunch when Kirk was with Washington.
Right. But I think Kurt is just in his moment right now. I think Kurt right now is the in such a groove, and Dak has struggled in the last previous weeks.
Here's why I'd go with Dak Prescott with these two head-to-head, because Kirk is, I think, a slightly playing great early in that game, just goes toe-to-toe with him, throw for throw late, leads the Cowboys back from a deficit, and it takes 2 game-winning field goals by Green Bay for them when they thought they had the first one, then Dak leads them down for a field goal of their own for Dallas, and then the famous Mason Crosby, what Skip calls the hand of God field goal that kind of scooted in at the last minute. Dak, I still believe that's the best game Dak Prescott's ever played, and it was the highest leverage game Dak Prescott has ever played. Home game, divisional round with a chance to host the NFC Championship game. I've never seen that type of moment from Kirk Cousins. In fact, I've seen the opposite. Whenever the stakes (23 or something?
Yes, 9-23.
9-20. So for a guy who has an actual good record as a starting quarterback, that means he is getting healthy on the games. When there's 7 other games on, you sometimes see it occasionally on Sunday on the Red Zone channel or Sunday Ticket, but when he doesn't shrink in the biggest spots. In fact, he tends to get a little bit better in the biggest spots.
Yeah, he does have some intangibles that come through in those big moments. And for your entire team. You use the Green Bay playoff game from a couple of years ago as an example of Dak Prescott playing at his best when his best was required. Well, I mean, I think we have to take into account that Packers defense that year. It's probably one of the worst defenses that you're going to see in the postseason. So behind that has to throw his team back in the game. That's the guy that's probably
smart to recognize play action and understand when you come in the box and when you stay back to try and give that body presence, for the receivers. And I'll take Harrison Smith over Heath every day of the week.
Well, and one other thing that this game, when you guys talk about it being a mirror image game, I called the Cowboys the Vikings. Six and 3. The Seattle Seahawks are sitting there. It's like, oh, what are they this year? And the Cowboys have put I don't want to say all their chips,